fast forward any come our channel so aha yeah GA360 political stories are a trending because making headlines na jembre na yedibi exomo ni dimnya hobraxia mo se ene yedi kanya message which must subscribe to the channel, hit notification bell so share na for so answer into inquiry and ni dimnya hobraxia mo message say mo rain sumo onu ye koyin sima na eye enkane chief justice Torkonoo ono ne ho sensem ene na abada eye apaso a eye de fiemko eche na dwen de efa sa insensem we say hu efa ne remover na wa kire se woye CJ chief justice na enoma bi asi ase bi so se benyado ese gina so na idi wodi no na gina so de ayi wodi no wontimi ensa emba supreme court se wo sen eba be adwuma ewo ho the sentino kete Torkonoo wontimi ensa amfani ni enkyere eye supreme court ahwe say oba abepena no aduane ewo
JDM 2006 then we come to that about Modibo Okran, rather read Modibo Okran and so on. Yes.
For me, I would go back to the constitutional architecture.
Okay.
It provides the grounds for removal, whether as CJ or as Supreme Court judge.
Separately?
No, the grounds are the same for both.
Okay.
The grounds are stated misbehavior or incompetence or ground of inability to perform your office. It is the procedure that is different. Because if it was a Supreme Court judge, you would have to refer the petition to the CJ to make a prima facie case. But if it is the CJ, of course, then it's we've just seen how that process has
President
followed.
And Council of State.
Exactly. So the second thing is that if the person is a CJ, and you even actually bring a petition not to remove them as a Supreme Court judge, you can't go and refer it back to the CJ for the CJ to make a decision whether he or she themselves have. So the truth is, even if you were making the claim against the person as a certain Supreme Court judge, you would, and the person is a CJ, you would still have to use a procedure for CJ. Now, for me, I would differentiate personally. Now, this one is my personal. So that's the constitutional architecture.
Sorry, say that again. Did you say if you are seeking to remove a Supreme Court judge, the procedure to be used will be that for the CJ?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that if you brought a petition to remove the CJ in her capacity as a Supreme Court judge, you would still have to use the procedure for CJ because she's CJ.
All right.
You get what I'm. She's CJ, so you can't refer it back to herself to make a prima facie case and all of that. So I think for me, I wouldn't split heads over the grounds because they are the same, or the procedure because once the person is CJ, that's the only procedure you can use, whether you are removing them as Supreme Court judge or CJ. What I would differentiate, and now this is my personal view, is that I would differentiate between whether it was it was related to the administrative role or it was under the grounds. Because if it is under the grounds, it's really splitting heads to say it. For me personally, for me, I've always one of the things I believe in, which I've been talking about, is rules of procedure for Article 146, not just only for the CJ, but rules of procedure for all those who come under Article 146 removal, just for fairness and transparency and clarity. So at least everybody knows the procedure that they are going to follow, and then it takes place. Since we don't have time, that is what.
Rules of procedure have been asked for over the years, but they have not been made.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I don't have the power to make them. But yes, I would advocate that they be made.
At pains in a JDM to say that it should be done and done immediately.
It's important.
And it's still not done.
We have rules of procedure for everything. So we have rules of procedure for the district court. We have rules of procedure for the high court. We have rules of procedure for the court of appeal, rules of procedure for the Supreme Court. Why not rules of procedure for Article 146 removals?
Over the years, they have been using...
We have rules of procedure for disciplinary hearing of the GLC.
Yes. Right. I think the rules of procedure...
Over the years, they will adopt the CI 47. That's not good.
No, let's just make rules of... I don't know. Let's just do the rules of procedure for Article 146 so that we know anybody coming under it, we know how the rules change. why it is also important to have rules is that what the CJ is complaining about, that I didn't get A, B, C, D. So if there's a problem with the rules, we can amend them.
Okay.
So at least we can grow whilst we have rules.
Right.
Rather
Mama
than just
says they are going to make rules now. Let's see what difference those rules will bring anyway.
Briefed on.
There are those who say that, well, your party began this process. You remove the former Electoral Commission boss.
Yes.
Yes, Charlotte Osei. And the same constitutional process is being used to remove the Chief Justice. So why the big fuss?
Is it a tit for tat?
I don't know.
Do two mistakes make a right? No. Is it a tit for tat? No. If we did it and it was wrong, then it means going forward, that's some years back, we shouldn't do that to anybody.
But you said the precedent. Yeah,
you said the precedent. The precedent which you said must be good precedent, not precedent which are bad. So if what we did, if you are saying, by your the questioning and the way you are going, if you are saying what we did was wrong, then it means that no other government should do the same thing. And that is why it's important that we get things right. I mean, we make, as a nation, going forward, we will always make mistakes. But, my friend, it doesn't really mean that because this one did that, so I'm going to do this and that. That is not the way to develop a country, no.
In fact, I mean, 8 years of President Akufo-Addo administration, how close were you to the government? And in fact, were you very close to President Akufo-Addo in his 8 years?
Well, I wasn't part of his inner cabinet or anything, but he was my colleague. In fact, I was the foreign minister and he took over from me after 3 years. So we are friends. We both come from the Eastern region, we are friends, but I don't think I had a hand in these things, what you want to refer to. But so I think he did his best, and there were difficulties on the way, and we are saying that maybe there are a few things we should have done differently. I don't think, to err is human, and if there was a problem, then let us see how best we can do it. But I wouldn't say that I was party to any of the major decisions that were taken.
In fact, there are those who say that, well, the president is from the Eastern region or hails from the Eastern region. You as well, you come from the Eastern region. At a point in the dying embers of his government, the Eastern region became one of the hotspots for illegal mining, or what now we call galamsey. What was the advice that you gave the president?
I think that when I came into politics from wherever I was, the idea was to treat this nation equally. It's not because the president was from the Eastern region. Actually, it never even occurred to me that because he's from the Eastern region, no. It was all, if galamsey started, and it's very distressing, absolutely, that you see the damage that galamsey is causing. The Catholic bishops have come, everybody is saying something. And so if I knew, I went to see a few, but if I knew that it was that bad, I did also make my own little noise about the fact that something has to be done. And unfortunately, it's not that easy, because you realize that one thing I ask myself, most countries have gold deposits and small-scale miners, but they don't destroy their water bodies, they don't destroy their farms as we are doing now. And the people were saying that Akufo-Addo was not doing well because the galamsey was this and that and that. Well, 8 months, 9 months down the line, has this government done any better? No. And that's why, in fact, the fight now is even stronger from the Catholic bishop, from the coalition, from everybody saying that we are not tackling the issue the way we should. We must learn from other people. We must learn what to do. Otherwise, believe you me, we'll be importing water, as the people say. And it's very, very, very difficult. Right now, yesterday, I think your own news item said that there was one of the districts or regions, which I remember, haven't put water system in place, that they don't have any water.
Yeah, that's the Kwenyako.
Something like that.
Yeah, the central region, yeah.
So that it shows these are signs of things to come. So this issue of Galamsey would not have, if it came my way, I would never say that because the Akufo-Addo is from Eastern region. It had no basis, really. I mean...
But that's his home region. You are also from there. You should be able to do something about it. That's Akufo-Addo's home region, former president's home region, and that's your home region as well.
Yeah, but that's
it's
what I'm saying. It's
become one of the hotspots for illegal mining.
That's why I'm saying that it has nothing to do with ethnicity or where we're coming from. If it's bad, it's bad. And so it's not because Akufo-Addo is coming from. That's what I'm saying. Well, if it's bad, it's bad. I'm talking frankly with you. If it's bad, it's bad. And if he couldn't handle it, and so for that matter, Ghanaians did not vote for us, and this government too cannot handle it, then maybe there's time to also begin to think about a possible change of government, not their way, but our way, i.e. democratically.
How bad were the sins of Akufo-Addo? Was it as red as crimson?
Sorry?
How bad were the sins of Akufo-Addo? Was it as red as crimson?
Well, his sins.
Yes.
Well, Jesus Christ, I am not here to judge people's sins and what have you and the rest.
I mean, political sins.
I'm sorry, that's a question which is quite unfair. You asked me what were his sins. No, he did his best, he did quite a lot of work, but sometimes a few things, one little thing might drop down and then the whole problem came.
What do you think really affected him in terms of his administration? Everything seemed to be going well, especially between 2017 and 2019. We had COVID. I mean, there was Russia-Ukraine war. What do you think was really the problem, especially in his second term, that became that big challenge that couldn't help him to sail through?
The challenges were of a multiple nature. And I believe that looking back, maybe we should have done a few things differently.
Yeah.
And this was not done. So in the process, the economy began to be shaky and difficulties erupted and things came up the way they did. But I don't really think that he ad personam per se was personally responsible for this. I think he had a team to work with, and if there were difficulties. And maybe also that has nothing to do at all with the difficulties, but maybe the Ghana chess game of you do 2 years and I do 2 terms and I do 2 terms and you do 2 terms and things like that. So really, it's a passé. It's gone. It's gone. So we will face the sun so that you won't see the shadow behind you.
But I'd also still remind you about the bad side of the Akufo-Addo administration, and say that it played a significant role in the humiliating defeat you had in 2024. So how do you expect them to go ahead when it's still fresh in the minds of people?
But that's what I'm saying, that even in the 9 months that this government has in power, Imani, whom everybody knows, has been supporting them, now comes and he say, hey, you are now already by your approval rating by over 50%. So it's not a matter of anybody favoring somebody, but what is on the ground. And if a few things went wrong and a few things went right also, then let's say maybe we want to talk about it, free education and this. And when Akufo-Addo came, we also had national health insurance, this, that. So things were done, but it's a whole plethora of difficulties and issues that sometimes you don't resolve in one go. It happened in UK, it happened in several places. They were quite. Last year was a year where most governments fell globally, fell and they lost, whether it's the Conservative Party or these people and that, all over. So really, this is what happened, and I believe that, I'm sure you are not satisfied with my answer, but the thing is that I don't have a definitive answer for that. And I must be honest, I don't agree with you that it's because he comes from the Eastern region, that's why I'm not saying, but sometimes you don't have the answer. And I think that there are a few things that I say we should have done differently, which we didn't do.
I'm sure you have seen the numerous post-mortem reports your party has done on why you lost the 2024 election. Was there any part that specifically mentioned, certain things that were done in the S1 administration that didn't really go well with the voters?
Well, the document that was put together by my good friend, Professor Okwe, I have not been privy to it. It's been kept by the General Secretary. And I don't know. But we could all see.
You've not gone through at all?
No, I have
you
not.
don't know its content?
I have asked now to see it.
And the Council of Elders, the chairman?
Yes, I've now asked to see it because they didn't give it to us. It came out about 2 months ago. And then I haven't seen it. But out of that came the report of the committee that looked at our constitution. I think based on that, the few things in our constitution are going to change, and hopefully that will help us to chart a course that will be more productive, and that will be will let us.
The latter parts of the Akufo-Addo administration, there were certain MPs or some MPs who were calling for the removal of the then Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. At that point in time, did you support that call, or you felt that he should have?
My what?
Were you part of those who supported the calls for the removal of Ken Ofori-Atta when things weren't really going well for the party or for the government in terms of the economic indicators?
What is not my schedule, what is not my business, it's not my business.
So at that point, it wasn't your business?
I did see that, and I did try to look at some understanding. In the final analysis, the Constitution gives whoever is the president the power to do what he had to do. And I don't think that alone is what was the cause of it. And if people are pursuing individuals based on some of hearsay, then it's quite unfortunate. And so that issue of the president not taking, moving Ken Ofori-Atta from where he was an issue. And it helped us because some of our members in Parliament publicly rebelled. And that was also not helpful at all. But for me, I don't know what he did that demanded anything. There was no committee or somebody to look into what Ofori-Atta had done. That's why I don't think it's an issue that I have an answer to. But what I did was to tell them, look, let us look at the issues and see what. But before then he was eventually changed, wasn't he? But maybe too late that he was changed.
So when you say maybe too late, what do you really mean?
Say that again.
When you say maybe too late, what do you really mean?
So what I'm saying that you said what happened and whether I was supporting or not supporting, whatever, and the rest. But I'm saying that when it was done, you see, when you have a group of people coming together to form a political party, there are various interests all over the place. And when they decided to ask the president to reshuffle his cabinet, in fact, indeed, it's no secret, our General Secretary also did say that the president should reshuffle it. Eventually he did it, but maybe he did it too late. But sometimes when you wear the shoe, it's only when you wear it that you know where it has. So maybe at that time it was not the most propitious to carry out a mass review of the situation of the ministerial situation, of ministerial portfolios that people were occupying. So it's gone, it's come and gone. It's part of history, and going forward, we would know what to do. And I think the people say there was not too much consultation, but the Constitution gives that authority, because when Rawlings crafted the Constitution, he crafted it for himself. And so it's happened. And then, but
Mama was so yemre aha a GH360 political headlines on kwa and the sum. But I saw them or Harasene, so body and the Dumbi Edumini, essential na yasan asum.